All right. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to associate your OpenShift account with a remote GitHub account. So up to this point, we have created an OpenShift account and started a very simple Node.js project. And it has its own Git repository where we are going to upload the code that gets deployed to the Node.js instance on the cloud. So if we go there in Node.js and we click on the application, we'll notice that we have the URL that we can use to grab all the code from that's being hosted online and copy it locally. Here we have a directory where we're going to do all our work for the CS5610 course. It currently is it's empty. There's nothing there. So we're going to clone that repository. We're going to say clone and then use that URL. I'm going to say enter. And it's going to clone that locally to our machine. Keep typing LD. There it is, so Node.js. You might have to log in to using the RHC Red Hat client that comes with OpenShift. You might need to run RHC logout first. We log out. And you might need to log in. You might say RHC login. I'm sorry, so /l and provide the username of the OpenShift account that you're using. So mine is this one, CS5610 fall 2015 at Gmail. So it's you would log in with that, CS5610, then fall 2015 at gmail.com. And it will ask you, is this for the application that you're hosting at OpenShift? You say yes, that's the defaults here in vertical bars. And then it'll ask you to log in using your password that you used when you created the OpenShift account. So let's see, let me log in. And it says that you might want to create a key that will allow you to authenticate itself when it does the push and the pull between the local machine that you have here and the remote server, and ask you, do you want to generate a brand new one? So you can say yes, it initializes it, see if there's already one created. If there is, it'll download it. Otherwise, it will ask you to create one. So now it knows that we're associated with this account. So all right, so we're done. We're associated with that OpenShift remote server. Anyway, so we cloned that server locally. If we go down to Node.js, we'll notice that we have a server there we created earlier. Right, that we have this that uses Express to create a local server. Notice that since we cloned it, we'll notice that the node modules, right, it's empty, so it doesn't actually have this Express library installed. So if we try to run it locally, it'll fail. Right? So server, let's say that you can't find that Express library, so you'll need to install it so that it will run locally. So just by typing npm install will read the package directory, the package file, this one, package.json. And it'll download and install all the packages, including that one by the Express there. There it is. So it reads the package.json, this one, that says that our particular project depends on the Express library. So that's why I installed that. Anyway, so now you can run it locally, Node server. Once you run it locally, you can try it out. Going to local server, which local hosts, and I believe it's listing on 3000. Right now, there's nothing there, but there was some code there, wasn't there? So we could do. We can look at. It was listing at 3000, right? It was listing at 3000, and it's anything put inside of the public directory it will be will be served by the server. We can actually open it up. Let's open it up with our favorite editor. I'll use, let's see, Kelly, Jane, there it was. We can just open up that that directory, see what's in there. Okay, so I found it in that directory. I was in that directory already earlier. So we click on that. We could just open that directory. Let's see. Open. There. Open. Let's close. Anyway, so in here we have under the public directory, we have just a hello.html. So if we look for that, we can say hello.html locally. It says, hello, welcome to CS 56. And then that's exactly what's in that file. Oh, there it is. So there's a test. All right. So anyway, so what we want to do is push this to a remote repository in GitHub, because right now it's in the repository of OpenShift, right, that we use for deploying new things. So let's change this text. Right? So this is currently what's hosted remotely. If you go to OpenShift and click on this, right, it's the same content that we get locally. Right? So if we say here, hello.html, it's exactly the same content is here, right? Here's the same content. Right. So if we want to change it, we can change it. Instead of this is a test, adding a row. Okay, so use the command git remote add, and then name of remote, and then the URL. So an example might be free git remote add GitHub, the name of that we want to give it locally to that remote repository, and then the URL. So the URL is here. I have a GitHub repository already created, which is this one. Click on it. Notice that it has the URL. I'll just copy that, and so for instance, I'll say GitHub Humans or whatnot. Right? So I'll save that, and let's push this to the remote server. So to push it to OpenShift, stop the server. To push it to OpenShift, you just say git push, right? And this will push it to the we can look at the current remote. Right now we have origin, which is the one that's pointing to OpenShift. So we can just say git push, and it'll push to the default repository, which in this case, oh, I'm sorry. Let's see what changed. We haven't told it that our files change. Let's see, yeah, so it knows that hello.html changed. We need to commit that and say git commit. And so adding remote. So we committed it. We can now push it. Right? So now it'll push it to OpenShift. And it'll stop the server, it'll restart the server, deploying the new contents to OpenShift. So if we go there and we have, this is a remote server, right? If we reload, you'll see that it says, use the open command git remote, blah, 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 blah. Here's an example. Locally, we haven't, if we reload, we'll have change. Okay, so the server is not running locally, so it's refresh. That it's changed locally as well. So what we want to do is use this remote GitHub as to be able to push changes here as well, so that TAs and myself can take a look at your changes. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that command. We're going to say git remote add. We'll call it GitHub. You can call it whatever you want. Just remember what you called it. And then we're going to paste the. Can we copy it? We're saying that I want to use that remote repository so I can push changes to that. So if we say git push. Earlier we need to say where, but now we need to say that we want to also push the content to GitHub. So push. Let's say you need to authenticate yourself. So myself. And it'll go and push it. So if you go here and look at the public and the hello.html, which notice that has the same commit that we used earlier. We click on it, notice that it has exactly the same content of the HTML that we changed locally. So now these URLs. These are all public. You can share this with anyone, with TAs, myself, or anyone who you've added to your repository can see this, as opposed to repositories that are in OpenShift that might not be public. Anyway, so there we were able to update the remote OpenShift repository and deploy, and also we've been able to push our changes to a public GitHub repository that you can share with TAs and myself.